held plenty of Zoom calls. Once they found, I think the next day they fundraised $1 million. Win with Black women, and I think Win with Black men did the same. They had record, like, it got so hectic that they literally had to like contact Zoom because Zoom didn't even have the capacity to have all those people in one call at once. So they had to do something to like fix it so that more people could be on Zoom. And so they did this with a lot of organizations across the board, but primarily it went with Black women, went with Black men, and they had like, different people talking about the particular issues. So, I mean, I think a lot was done. They knocked on plenty of doors. But maybe it wasn't her time. Maybe, there's a lot of disinformation out there. Really, to be honest with you, Trump ran on hate, and hate is a very powerful tool, right? Hating on immigrants, hating on disabled people, hating on, minorities. People can connect with that, especially, with this day and age. That really resonates with people. It really resonates with people, with certain people. So that's just really works for him.
Well, and that's true because she did have a town hall meeting with some local Black activists. I think it was in California, as well as with D.L. Hughley, Spike Lee. It was a whole bunch of them. And they had like a town hall meeting about, which she presented a program for Black men, and not only just Black men, but black people. And, they never really advertised that. A lot of people didn't even hear about it. But I think a lot of propaganda was directed towards her because of her time as a prosecutor. And yeah, she made a mistake, but that she was doing her job as well. So yeah, I don't understand why people were like, just I don't think she campaigned as much as she should have. Yeah. She didn't really campaign like she should have.
I support hate.
And maybe.
So again.
And maybe. Go ahead.
So I was gonna say. So again, winning president. History was against her side, right? It was an uphill battle to begin with. She had a very short period of time in which to get a message out. I didn't think that the message was very clear, but again, she also had a short period of time to try to get it out. Number one. Number two, being a prosecutor does hurt you with respect to Black men because the criminal justice system has not been very friendly historically to Black men. But getting back to my original point, garnering support for a particular demographic, it's a team sport, and the blue team does not have a very good record with respect to Black men. It just does not. And as a accomplished Black man, I've tried to articulate this point many times. A lot of the initiatives, even a lot of the initiatives named, don't immediately address Black men. Cannabis does not. It's run by white men. That doesn't because those doors aren't open for Black men, right? So it's an image problem that they need to take time to fix, and she didn't have the time to do it. Clearly, because you said that she launched initiatives and nobody knows about it, which means she didn't have time to do it. And it shows the rest of her team wasn't doing it either. Because if the initiatives are out there and they're popular, they would be well known. But that's what...
So it's interesting that you say that the blue team doesn't have a good track record with Black men when it's a lot of the policies done by Republicans.
Yes,
that have ravished communities, right? So that's why I'm very confused because when they're talking about cutting 30% of the Department of Education, that was Ronald Reagan, right? You're talking about, getting us into an unnecessary war. That was Bush, right? I mean, so how is it that, and we know that certain populations serve in the military disproportionately, right? So who does that really affect? So I know both parties have made mistakes and have fucked up, but for you to sit up here and say that, blue teams have a good record when, who introduced, who was shipping cocaine from Colombia to LA, New York. Like, you know, who was doing that? Like, you're talking about destroying communities. I mean, I don't think anything had an effect worse than crack, right? So, yeah, that doesn't really make sense to me, but maybe, I don't know, revisionist history.
She didn't really campaign like this.
Yeah, but also you have to look at, like you said, he ran on hate. Look at his cabinet. How many black people are black? And all the people that he fired, a lot of black people had federal jobs. Okay, look at all of, he's talking about DEI. All of that is propaganda. I studied, you know, like Hitler, different dictators. His whole, and I'm not going by what they're saying on TV or in the media, his whole campaign, just the things that he's doing where he's trying to revise history, even with that military march that he had with the on his birthday, Hitler did the same thing. He did the same thing. He used Trump is using immigration. Hitler used the Jews. Okay, it's always going to be somebody when fascism comes in, and the way that he garnered the courts and everything else, it was all a plan. Okay, this thing wasn't just happening now. This was all planned out. Okay, you're getting rid of history. You're trying to erase black people's history, just like Hitler erased the Jews out of German society with their history. It's the same blueprint. It's like he's following his blueprint. And I don't understand how anybody could sit up here and say that the Republicans are better for black people than the Democrats. There's no way. Even looking at his cabinet, even him bringing those South Africans over. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, look at the man. Look at what he's doing. He did not lie when his hate did not lie. He came right out and said what he wanted to say, and people just went right along with it.
So to be clear, I said a specific demographic, black men. Black men don't care about the Gulf War. Black men don't care about none of that stuff. Yes, cocaine was a bad problem for the black community. Yes, Reagan was the catalyst there. But then Democrats said, "Hey, we're going to lock up black men." That's why I said the criminal justice system, with respect to black men, does not have a great record. And I know there are a lot of local initiatives that black men have pushed for, so like educational initiatives that will get our boys on track, that they push for, and locally, state and locally, the blue team is pushed against. There's a lot of family court initiatives. There's a lot of family court initiatives that locally and state that black men have asked for, and the Dems have pushed back against. And again, I'm not saying the Republicans are better. I'm simply saying that the blue team is not offering them anything, and they're saying with their votes, you know, and even though it's a small percentage, it's enough to make a difference. They're saying there's nothing in the blue team for me here. I'm going to try the red team. Those are the facts, and that piece is what the blue team is not listening to. It's like at some point you're going to have to say, you have to stop preaching to these people and say, and give them something that they're asking for.
When the GOP has been in charge, right?
Where do you live? Because it's not like that in New Jersey.
Two people are going on. Let Arthur go.
Okay.
And then Mr. can respond, and then you can go. Regina.
If we're gonna actually go by that narrative, right? When the GOP have been in charge, they're like, hey, we're gonna try the other team. When the GOP have been in charge, they haven't done anything for them. So you can't say that they're gonna try the other team when the other team has been in charge and has not done anything for you. And again, that crime bill was bipartisan. Both sides wanted that crime bill to go through, not just the Dems.
Yeah, all you're saying is they both swung on me, and the one that was supposed to be loyal to me swung on me. So that's the one I'm going to remember. Right? Saying that they're also guilty does not, exonerate them from their guilt. Right? Terrible choice of words, but you get what I'm saying. And again, and I'm in Florida. Let me be clear. I'm no novice to politics. Right? I was a lobbyist in Washington, D.C., but my lobbying started in the state of Wisconsin. I remember vividly sitting in a town hall with Milwaukee caucus, which is mostly black Democrats, right? And I remember people asking to deal with the local police, a department that I was a part of, right? And the response was more police. And I remember saying, why would you give the people why would you hire more people that they don't trust? And it was, and again, I am no fan of this man, but the then Republican governor decided.
It sounds like you are a fan of him.
No, here's the problem, Sam, respectfully. I don't have a side, right? I call balls and strikes. If someone has a good idea, I call a good idea. If they have a bad idea, I call a bad idea. Right? But I'm not even talking about Donald Trump right now. I'm just simply illustrating I'm illustrating an issue that black men had, and a Republican said, okay, fine. And in this instance, two things that the Republican governor did. One was he removed the DA from investigating their own local department, and they hired an external group to do just simple investigations when police do bad things. And they were one of the first departments to start doing that. That is something black men ask for, because guess who suffers disproportionately with police brutality? Black people. And the majority of the people at the town hall, believe it or not, were black men asking for these reforms. Okay. And that's what I'm talking about.
All right, so
Wait, hold on, Levon, let Regina go, and then you can go. Okay?
Yeah, but I'm really not understanding. Okay, so he threw you a bone. Okay, but the majority of the time, when have black people excelled under which party the most?
Black men are failing. Black men and black boys right now are failing horrendously under both parties. And
that may be in Florida, but that's not in New Jersey.
That is nationally. And the party that is supposed to be helping them is not helping them. They've reached out for help. They're not getting help. And I'm telling you the perspective from our perspective.
Okay, because that's his opinion, Regina, and you could already tell he's biased. Go ahead, Lamar.
Yeah, I'm not biased.
Yeah, you are, because you're punishing. You keep punishing Democrats, but that's fine. We don't have to make this conversation about you. We could, like, Levon, please just don't address him, because if you address him, it's just gonna be back and forth, and you already know what's going on here. All right, we've already been on this road. So
I don't know how I'm punishing anybody. The voters are voting with their votes. I'm just telling you why they're doing it.
All right, well, it's Levon's turn.
yeah, because people talking naturally don't work. But anyway, what I wanted to say is,
we could barely hear you because you have a lot of background.
I'm sorry, I'm changed. Hopefully this is better. What are the Republicans doing now for that? That's what I'm interested in.
What is he doing now for black men? Getting rid of undocumented immigrants, because they're taking black men's jobs. Apparently, black men work on farms. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm here in Florida, being to strawberry farms, pick strawberries. I don't see these black people bending down, working their back for hours in 96, 98 degrees picking strawberries today.
I'm sorry, I didn't say that they were doing anything. Republicans are doing anything for black people.
No, I want to hear your argument or your explanation as to what, the party that's calling now, what are they specifically doing to help black men? That's what I want to do.
I didn't say they were. I'm telling you that the party that they were looking. I'm saying this. I'm going to say it again. The party that they were looking for help from is not giving them help, and so they decided, what have I got to lose? I'm gonna try the other party. I never made the argument that Trump was doing anything for these people. I never made that argument.
Okay, now can we finish?
What percentage of black people voted?
It increased. Black men. We're talking about black men specifically. It increased. I think Trump got the highest number of black male votes since like Nixon or something.
And he hasn't given them anything?
No.
So you think that's an issue?
Yes, thank you.
Of course. But my point is that the reason that they're even trying it is because they're not getting anything from the blue team. That's what I'm saying.
So you could just promise them and not do shit, and people will vote for you. Got it. So in other words, people are gullible. and they fell for the bullshit.
Yeah, exactly, Mr. Finley. You're. I hear what you're trying to say, but that's just simply. I guess you know what. From a perspective of a black MAGA, maybe so, but everyone else in reality can see that they were finessed. He literally put in policies, Project 2025. All the bullshit is clear as day that he was not for black people. So the fact that you say, oh, well, we're just going to go ahead and try the other party that's literally saying we're going to screw you guys over.
I didn't say we, by the way.
Oh, well, you know what I'm talking about. So bottom line is, it's not, they were finessed. They were finessed. I mean, literally. They're talking about fucking around with the Civil Rights Act. I mean, look at all the shit they're doing. There's no reason any black man should have said, oh, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and dabble in this because, shit, what have I got to lose? You have a lot to lose. Shit, you had a lot to lose, and he was making it obvious. So if what you're saying is true, then all you're saying is that, damn, black MAGA was just dumb as fuck.
So calling them dumb and call them whatever you want to call them.
Well,
I don't care. I don't call them what you want to call them. I don't care. I'm telling you the problem. And I've had this conversation with my black Democratic elected officials that I freaking know, and they're not listening, right? You can call them dumb and name call them. I am simply telling you that the blue team is failing to continue to garner their votes. That's what I'm telling you. I am not endorsing the Republican Party in any way, shape, or form. But I'm getting attacked as if I'm endorsing, and I'm getting attacked as if I don't know what's going on. I am telling you what's going on. That's it. I'm just simply telling you the training. That's all.
But it sounds like you're going by talking points that I've heard all over, like the media and YouTube about Democrats not doing certain things.
He is going by talking points. He's speaking on behalf of the black MAGA males. I get where he's coming from. We heard it several different times over that black men felt like the Democrats wasn't getting them nothing. I don't see why y'all coming at him. He was just giving a perspective as to why he believes the black MAGA males was that party. I hear what you're saying, Finley.
Exactly. Thank you.
But proportionately speaking, I mean, to say that they've got nothing is disingenuous. And the fact that they don't understand their civics and history and how we got to where we are today.
Well, they're not wrapped tight, clearly. So
fair enough.
Or a lot of times, and good afternoon, everybody. A lot of times, it's the challenge is, I think I actually did this before in this room, at a couple rooms before, and I understand where Mr.'s coming from to a certain degree. I think politics is all like who we've chosen. At least from a black perspective, has always been sort of a last mile problem. I still remember one guy suggesting that he voted for Trump only because he didn't want the government to interfere with black people. And there are some people with that sentiment, but but the challenge becomes they don't always put, what's the other shoe coming. And I think they may not necessarily be MAGA, it's just maybe a little bit of a conservative interest or bent that to what JD said, like what Trump finessed at some level. It's just something that I think people are starting to at least wake up a little bit to it, but I think it will always be a little bit of a challenge. I think it's the idea that you're voting for somebody that you think can fix one thing, but the problem with Trump is that one thing is mixed in with other things that are so either unconstitutional or just dead wrong that your vote becomes this sort of, meaningless thing. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
that too, I agree with that too. But we're dealing with people who are, for the most part, misinformed. They going by they're basing all of their information off of propaganda that they see on the internet, and they believed that somehow they made more money during the time that he was a president before. Like, these people aren't wrapped
tights, okay? They are delulu. You think that black males being MAGA is the issue? Well, black women being MAGA is even worse, okay? Like, the shit that comes out of their mouths is just, I can't believe half of the shit that comes out of their mouths, to be honest with you, but it comes, and it's like diarrhea in the mouth, and they just continue on with the rhetoric, and even when they see the mirror in their face, they look through it and they act like nothing is going on. It's just, this is where we are right now.
I think we were coming from, because the majority of the black men, it wasn't black women that voted for Trump.
I understand, but we do have black women that voted for Trump. And even though it was a lot of black men, there wasn't as many. It wasn't so many that he could say he took all of the black men. It was black men who voted for Kamala too. One of the biggest issues, like you said before, was that a lot of people didn't show up. But another issue that a lot of people seem to not want to talk about for some odd reason, and I'm the only person